Hey YouTube, this is another video from Halloween Horror Nights 24, Orlando, Florida. Well, actually it's from my apartment, but it's about Halloween Horror Nights 24. And we went on opening night, September 19th, and then we went again on the 20th of September. So this one is about, of course, again,
The Walking Dead end of the line. Year
Yes.
number 3 for Walking Dead.
I'm hoping the end of the line means the end of the line for Walking Dead at Halloween Horror Nights.
I
So-
really doubt it because, as again from last year, this is the busiest house in the park. At 7:30 at night on the 20th, it was a 90-minute line, and I'm sure it did not let up.
Yeah.
Why I say I don't doubt it, because this brings in the crowds. 3 years running, and when we went opening night in 2011, it wasn't that busy. It really wasn't.
No, we went right to it directly.
Yeah.
It was like a 15-minute wait, maybe.
Yeah, and but now this year, 2014, The Walking Dead is bringing in the crowds.
Well, later that night, it was crowded.
No, but I'm saying like in 2011, the crowds weren't that bad.
Yeah.
But now because of The Walking Dead, 3 years in a row, the park gets like super packed, super early. You know, like, and it stays that way. So I'm sure until The Walking Dead is done, like they're gonna keep bringing it back because it's bringing a lot of crowds in.
Yeah. So I watched I haven't watched the show, and Brian hasn't watched the show either.
No.
There was a video on YouTube. I think it was like the body count of how many zombies they killed, and it showed like little snippets of the show, and I saw that they were in a prison and all that stuff. So even that little bit kind of gave me a little insight of it. So where I'm going with that is outside of the soundstage where The Walking Dead maze begins is a very elaborate prison set with a guard tower and all kinds of really cool stuff, like barbed wire fence, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. This is also, and it notes it in the event guide, the biggest house in Halloween Horror Nights history.
And you see that, and they're like, oh, okay, so it's kind of big. No, it's really big.
And you, if you're stuck in that 90-minute line, it's worth the wait because you're in that house for at least 10 minutes, probably more, upwards of 15 minutes.
Yeah, and you keep walking towards the door that goes outside the building, and you're thinking, okay, that was a pretty cool house.
Yeah.
And you walk through it, and like, no, it's not done. There's more. And that happens, I think, 2 or 3 times where you think it's the end of the house, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. So really, all right, so they put like all their cards onto this. Like the outside is really great.
Yeah.
The whole house is good. If you're a fan of the show, I'm sure you'll see a lot of things. It looked cool to us, and we're not even fans of the show.
Yeah, there's a whole prison scene where they're kind of like jumping out of the cells at you and things like that, and that was kind of cool. That's what I saw in that video.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you want to watch the show for free, you have to have a cable or satellite provider, which I do not have. And it's like, well, if I had a cable or satellite provider, I wouldn't have to watch it online for free. So.
Or you could buy the DVDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
But I just wanted to see a episode.
Yeah.
So I had an idea, but unfortunately, it's locked down pretty tight. So.
Yeah.
At least as far as legal ways of seeing it.
Yeah. You ready for heavy spoilers?
Yep.
Okay. So, like he said, I think it takes place directly from last year's Walking Dead No Safe Haven. That house ended in the prison, which I guess is the end of season 3. Now we start in the prison and we're going to Terminus. I believe just from hearing fans talk that this is a lot of season 4 stuff. So like if you're caught up to date with The Walking Dead, you'll see a lot of stuff from the show.
Kind of like last year's thing was the barn, which is season 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have for it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. We don't watch the show, so we can't point out like a lot of things in the show. Like I think when we get to Terminus, there's a lot of like signs from the show. Like there was Us First, Always, something like that. If that means anything to fans of the show. It looked cool. It looked great. And
and again, there's one or two signs that says someone's name we will check every day.
Yeah.
It's spray painted on the side.
Yeah.
I forget the exact wording of it, but that's also something from that.
I think it was Daryl. It's something Daryl come back here, or it was signed Daryl. And there's a Walking Dead fan that had like a Daryl shirt, and they were getting a lot of compliments. And there was another shirt that said "Carry on and hide behind Daryl." So whoever that is, I guess one of the main characters.
Yeah. So despite my costume, I don't get into the show. I have a lot of things I need to do already. I don't need to fall down the rabbit hole of another TV series and get sucked into watching that. Although, I don't know, it seems like it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because first you watch the show, and then you got to go in the forums and talk about the show. And then you got to do this and this and
supposedly there's another show after it called The Talking Dead.
A wrap-up
show. The show is so big, it has a show after it talking about the show before it.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, that's our review. So you saw in this video, I shot a whole bunch of footage and pictures of the outside just to show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
I shot that with my Canon EOS 70D, which is a digital SLR, which is what I rented last year from Lens Pro to Go. And this year I rented something called the Atomos Ninja Star, which is pretty cool. It lets you record in Apple ProRes instead of MPEG-4, and it lets you record past 30 minutes. If you want to take a look at that, look that up. But I don't get money from, or I'm not officially sponsored by lensprotogo.com. They've been asking me to give them a shout out at the end of these videos. But like I said, the past 2 years I've rented from them for Halloween Horror Nights. The whole process is really smooth. The customer service is great. So if you want to rent, some camera equipment or audio equipment or lighting equipment, check them out. And thank you for checking out this video. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. And we're going to be going back on Halloween night. And maybe we'll catch up on some of the things we missed. And of course, we'll be there next year.
Yep.
So thanks for watching.